Hi everyone, welcome to Arpita Sharma classes. I am Arpita Sharma, your educator, and we are going to solve some important questions in our today's daily news prescription class of the Hindu, and also we are going to go through some important articles that have featured in today's newspaper. So the class PDF will be uploaded on our Telegram channel, Simplifying UPSC with Ease. You can download it from there. Let's start without any delay. We are going to solve some questions today, and then we are going to start with the newspaper analysis. Okay, question number 1: if the total size of economy is growing year after year, it implies or it means that GDP growth rate must be increasing steadily year after year. Second, gross capital formation, that is the GCF in the economy, must be increasing year after year. Which statement is or are incorrect? आपको incorrect statement identify करना है. That means you have to identify which statement is false. Is it 1 or is it 2 or is it both 1 and 2, or none of these statements is or are incorrect? You have 10 seconds time to answer the question. 10 सेकंड का आपके पास टाइम है, फटाफट से आंसर कर दीजिए क्वेश्चन को. All right, so the correct answer to this question is, इस क्वेश्चन का करेक्ट आंसर आपका है, it is C. That is, both the statements are incorrect. दोनों ही statements गलत हैं. Now, GDP at market price, it means total value of goods and services which is produced within one financial year at market price, okay, in the territory of the country. Now, if it increases, it means entrepreneurs have decided to produce more goods and services. अगर GDP बढ़ता है, इसका मतलब goods and services बढ़ रहे हैं, ठीक है, क्योंकि total value होती है ना GDP goods and services की. It does not mean that the growth rate must be increasing day by day. That does not mean that the size of economy is growing. ठीक है, so this can actual investment also, or increase in labor also, increase in machinery also, etc. Okay, and GCF is net increase in physical asset. Physical asset means investment minus deposits. So it does not account for depreciation of fixed capital, or it does not account for consumption. All right, so it is not a measure of total investment. ये total investment का measure नहीं होता. So that is why again it does not mean that if GCF is increasing, that does not mean total size of economy is also growing. Okay, so both the statements are incorrect. Second question, consider the following statements regarding incremental capital output ratio. Incremental capital output ratio denotes the relationship between level of investment made in economy and consequent increase in gross domestic product. Higher the ICOR, higher the productivity of capital. In the last 10 years, ICOR has seen substantial decline in India. So which option is करेक्ट? कौन सा ऑप्शन इसमें करेक्ट है, जल्दी से बताएं. So you have 10 seconds time to answer the question. Which statement is correct? कौन सा statement correct है इसमें? Correct answer to this question is, now this topic ICOR has been in news many a times, right? So answer it very carefully. Correct answer to this question is C. That is, only statement 1 is correct. What is incremental capital output ratio? So it is the ratio of investment to growth which is equal to reciprocal of the marginal product of capital. In short, you can say that it is a frequently used tool that explains relationship between levels of investment which are made in economy, and because of those investment there is consequent increase in GDP. That relationship is ICOR. It indicates additional unit of capital or investment which is needed to produce an additional unit of output. Okay, clear हो रहा है? So when we talk about lower ICOR, it indicates country's production is more efficient. इसका मतलब क्या होता है? Write it down, that the country's production is more efficient. All right. It is a metric that assesses marginal amount of investment capital which is required for a country or other entity to generate next unit of production. So vice versa will be, if ICOR is higher, that means lower productivity of capital or marginal efficiency of capital. Question number 3, which of the following expenditure by government are considered as transfer payments? Very important question. UBI, subsidies paid to farmers, conditional cash transfers. Select the correct answer code. जल्दी से correct answer code select कीजिए. So I'm giving you a little hint. What are transfer payments? So transfer payment is a payment of money for which there are no goods or services exchanged. Correct answer to this question will be, इस question का correct answer होगा, it is B, that is 1 and 3 are correct. So expenditure like pensions, scholarships, UBI, they are direct transfers of money. They do not create any output. So that is why they are known as transfer payments. वो payments जो कोई output create ना करे, direct transfer है money का, उसे हम transfer payment बोलते हैं. ठीक है, पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया. सब्सिडीज को हम ट्रांसफर मनी नहीं बोलते बिकॉज ये इकोनॉमिक ट्रांजैक्शन से रिलेटेड होता है ना, आउटपुट से रिलेटेड होता है, फार्मर्स के आउटपुट से रिलेटेड होता है, इसलिए वी आर नॉट गोइंग टू कंसिडर दिस एज ट्रांसफर पेमेंट्स. फोर्थ क्वेश्चन, which of the following is or are part of personal disposable income? Very easy question. Personal disposable income, this question has been taken from class 12th NCERT of economics. class 12th की जो economics की NCERT है, macro economics, वहां से ये question लिया गया है. So first is non-tax payment like fines, then we have corporate tax, then we have personal tax payments, net interest payments made by households. Which of them is a part of personal disposable income? पर्सनल डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, जल्दी से बताएं. So the correct answer to this question will be, correct answer will be D, none of the above. When we talk about personal disposable income, it refers to the income that is available to households that they can spend as they wish. So personal disposable income will be personal income minus personal tax payment minus non-tax payment like fines etc. So non-tax payment will be deducted, इसको deduct किया जाएगा, it will not be a part of personal disposable income. Corporate tax no, personal tax payment no, net interest payments by household no, they will be deducted, they are not part of personal disposable income, they are deducted from personal income, then we get the PDI. Okay, so D is the correct answer. The last question, consider the following statements regarding GDP deflator. Again, direct question taken from NCERT of class 12th. Direct question है जो NCERT से लिया गया है. GDP deflator is a measure of level of prices of all new domestically produced final goods and service in an economy in a year. Unlike the CPI, the GDP deflator is not based on a fixed basket of goods and service. When GDP deflator is negative, it necessarily means that there is inflation in the economy. Correct answer to this question will be the correct answer is B. That is statement 1 and 2 are correct. ओके, जीडीपी डिफ्लेटर जो होता है बहुत कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इन्फ्लेशन मेजर है अगर सीपीआई इंडेक्स से हम कंपेयर करें, एंड जब ये नेगेटिव होता है ना तो मतलब नॉमिनल जीडीपी रियल जीडीपी से कम है. ठीक है, इट मींस दैट देयर इज डिफ्लेशन इन द इकोनॉमी, नॉट इन्फ्लेशन. तो थर्ड स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. Before we move forward, here's a small announcement for all of you. Unacademy is launching new batches from tomorrow, that is 24th of March 2021. We have 3-month batch for prelims 2021. We have 2022 batch course also, and for 2023 students also we have a batch course that starting from 24th March 2021. So there will be complete syllabus coverage for prelims cum mains. Live classes will be taken by top educators, and NCERT plus prelims ki test series will be provided to you. We have batches for UPSC CSE prelims 2021 and separate NCERT batches as well. हमारे पास separate NCERT batches भी हैं. So make sure that you subscribe to Unacademy Plus, and because the classes are starting from tomorrow na, so these courses, trust me, guaranteed, the guarantees from my side also that these classes are going to help you to transform your UPSC CSE journey. You are going to get wonderful motivation and as well as syllabus completion on Unacademy Plus with the help of bureaucrats as well who are taking classes. Right over here you can see we have a list of bureaucrats and top educators who are taking classes for all of you. We have ex-IAS, ex-IRS, ex-IPS officers. We have advocates and lawyers who are taking polity and constitution classes for all of you. We have geography experts. We have Mrinal Patel sir, who has himself 13 years of experience in teaching, especially Indian economy. Nobody teaches well or best than Mrinal Patel sir, right? You all will agree with this. So you can take a subscription today. We have doubt clearing sessions also, study material is provided, study planner is provided, personal guidance is given, test analysis is done. So this is Unacademy Plus, which you can take subscription today. The links are given below in the description box also. We have GS Plus optional combo as well. हमारे पास GS और optional का combo भी है जिसको आप ले सकते हो अगर आपको optional भी अपना तैयार करना है. So you can use code ARPITA10 to get 10% discount on your Unacademy Plus subscription. आप ये code use कर सकते हो ARPITA10 ताकि आपको easily straight away 10% का discount मिल जाए. The links are given below in the description box. You can click on the link and subscribe today. Coming on to the first important article on page number 1, fourth firm ties up to make Sputnik V. Russia's Sovereign Wealth Fund, that is RDIF, that is Russian Direct Investment Fund, said that it had entered into an agreement with Weichao Biotech of Hyderabad to produce up to 200 million doses per year of COVID-19 vaccine Sputnik V in the country. The technology transfer is expected to be completed in the second quarter of 2021. देन इट विल बी कमर्शियली अवेलेबल. तो ये RDIF के साथ ना ये फोर्थ ऐसा अग्रीमेंट है जो साइन किया गया है स्पटनिक वी को इंडिया में प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए. तो वैक्सीन हैज बीन कॉल्ड स्पटनिक वी बिकॉज इट इज नेम्ड आफ्टर फर्स्ट आर्टिफिशियल अर्थ सैटेलाइट विच इज स्पटनिक 1 लॉन्च्ड बाय सोवियत यूनियन. अंडरलाइन दिस वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्ट, पहला आर्टिफिशियल अर्थ सैटेलाइट जो सोवियत यूनियन ने लॉन्च किया था वो स्पटनिक 1 था. एंड स्पटनिक 5 और स्पटनिक वी इज फर्स्ट COVID-19 वैक्सीन विच हैज गॉट अप्रूव्ड. ओके, सो दिस इज a vaccine that uses two different human common cold viruses, that is adenovirus that has been modified. ओके तो ये जो कॉमन कोल्ड वायरस है जिसको एडिनो वायरस भी बोलते हैं ये काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज दिस एडिनो वायरस वेक्टर वैक्सीन. सो एडिनो वायरस वेक्टर वैक्सीन, पहले एडिनो वायरसेस के बारे में जानते हैं. दीज आर DNA वायरसेस. दे कैन कंफ्यूज इन प्रीलिम्स बाय राइटिंग दैट इट इज RNA वायरस. नो, इट इज अ DNA वायरस. यू हैव टू रिमेंबर इट. ओके, ranging from 70 to 90 nanometer in size. It can induce many illnesses in humans like cold, respiratory infection, etc. And adenoviruses are preferred for vaccines because their DNA is double-stranded, which makes them genetically more stable, and the chances of them changing after injection are very lower. And rabies vaccine जो होती है ना, उसमें adenovirus vaccine use किया जाता है. It is an adenovirus vaccine only, rabies vaccine. This is important for prelims. So first thing you have to remember is that adenovirus are DNA viruses. Then second thing you have to remember is that adenovirus are preferred for vaccines. Why? Because DNA जो उनका होता है वो double-stranded होता है तो ये जेनेटिकली ज्यादा स्टेबल रहता है तो इन्फेक्शन के चांसेस कम हो जाते हैं. एंड रेबीज वैक्सीन जो है वो भी एडिनोवायरस वैक्सीन ही है. ओके, पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया. बट इट इज ऑल्सो सेड दैट इट माइट नॉट वर्क फॉर एवरीवन बिकॉज ह्यूमन बॉडीज दे डेवलप इम्यून रिस्पॉन्सेज to most real viral infections and they change also, right? They get varied as well. So that is why. Coming on to the next important article, amid protest, Lok Sabha passes GNCTD amendment bill. So Lok Sabha has passed a bill that defines that the word government in Delhi means lieutenant governor and makes it mandatory for elected government in Delhi in the National Capital Territory to take opinion of LG before any executive action. Basically, government is trying to do away or bring down the powers of the government in Delhi. So this bill has been passed. It has come under scanner. It has come under criticism. The opposition is against this bill, right? And this bill defines the meaning of the word government in Delhi. It means lieutenant governor. So Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Act 1991. The Delhi's current status is Union Territory with Legislative Assembly. Why this current status was given? Through the 69th Amendment Act it was given through articles and 239BB. They were introduced in the constitution because of this amendment. So GNCTD, that is Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi, was passed simultaneously to supplement constitutional provisions related to Assembly and Council of Ministers in National Capital. Now in this amendment, the meaning of the word government has been changed. Okay, so that is why it has been in controversy. The powers of LG has been increased now as compared to the powers of the government in Delhi. So that we have discussed in the previous lectures also. You can refer to the previous lectures in detail. Lok Sabha not for bill to increase FDI and insurance. This also we have understood. राज्य सभा ने इसको पास किया था, अब लोक सभा ने भी पास कर दिया है. Insurance Bill Amendment Bill 2021, which seeks to raise the limit for foreign direct investment in insurance companies from 49% to 74%. Earlier we studied this bill. Why? 2-3 days back we studied it because Rajya Sabha had got given its the clearance. Now Lok Sabha has given the clearance. Now President's assent is necessary to make it a law. अब President की permission की जरूरत है इसको law बनाने के लिए. So let us understand. The bill increases the maximum foreign investment which is allowed in insurance company from 49 to 74%. The finance minister assured that policyholders' money would not leave Indian shores and have to be compulsorily invested here. It was argued that more FDI would mean greater competition, thus better negotiated premiums for the end user. And under this new structure, majority of directors on board and key management persons would be resident Indians, जिनके पास 50% जो directors होंगे वो independent directors रहेंगे, and key management personnel Indians ही रहेंगे, so that they will be governed by the Indian laws only. Okay, so FDI cap has been increased now from 49 to 74%. Coming on to the next important article, Gandhi Peace Prize for Mujib and Sultan Qaboos. So here we have to remember about Gandhi Peace Prize. It is important from prelims perspective. Prelims perspective से important है. Culture Ministry announced that father of nation of Bangladesh, that is Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and former Sultan of Oman, late Qaboos bin Said Al Said, will be awarded Gandhi Peace Prize for 2020 and 2019. So Gandhi Peace Prize is an annual award which has been instituted in place since 1995. ठीक है. Now, this award carries an amount of ₹1 crore, a citation in a scroll, a plaque, as well as exquisite traditional handicraft or handloom item. And it can be divided between two persons and institutions also, who are considered by the jury to be equally deserving. And it is open to all persons irrespective of nationality, caste, creed, race, gender, sex. This is not awarded posthumously. Okay, ये आपको याद रखनी है बात. Now what is the meaning of the word posthumously? पहले ये समझ लेते हैं कि भाई posthumously word का meaning क्या होता है. Posthumously means after the death of the originator. That is posthumously. Okay, that is after death. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. So UP MP sign agreement on the Ken Betwa interlinking work. Now here the award has been given to late Qaboos bin also. This has been in not in accordance with the terms of the prize, but yes, Gandhi Peace Prize has been now awarded to a the Sultan of Oman as well, who is not now with us. Over here, UP MP sign agreement on Ken Betwa interlinking work. Ken Betwa link project is the first project of National Perspective Plan for interlinking of rivers. Now, if you have studied class 11th NCERT of Indian economy, you must know what is perspective plan. Plan which is made for next 20 years, 20 plus years. जो 20 से ज़्यादा साल के लिए plan बनाए जाते हैं उनको perspective plans बोलते हैं. Future plans, perspective plans. Point, you have to remember this point. Okay. तो class 11th Indian economy NCERT, you have to read it. So under the link project, water from Ken River will be transferred to Betwa River. Okay. You can have a look at the map of the project as well. We have the Ken River over here. Okay. Over here we have the Betwa River. From here the water will be transferred to the Betwa River. The Ken Betwa project will transfer surplus water from the Ken River to Betwa Basin to help irrigate the drought-prone Bundelkhand region and adjoining areas. So the project involves deforesting portion of Panna Tiger Reserve, which is in MP. You have to remember this as well. The project will also benefit UP and MP in terms of meeting their irrigation and drinking water needs as well. So there will be a canal which will be constructed, which will pass through Jhansi, Banda and Mahoba districts of UP and Tikamgarh, Panna and Chhatarpur districts of MP. Coming on to the last news for today, that is plea against challenge to Places of Worship Act. So Supreme Court has asked the central government to respond to a petition challenging a special law enacted in 1991 by the Congress government, which freezes the status of places of worship as it was on August 15, 1947. 1947 15 अगस्त को जो स्टेटस था ना मंदिरों का या मस्जिद का या चर्चेस का, जितने भी प्लेसेस ऑफ वर्शिप है उनके स्टेटस को एज इट इज फ्रीज किया गया था. ठीक है, इस एक्ट के द्वारा, तो इसको चैलेंज किया गया है. द पिटीशन सेज दैट द 1991 legislation, that is this Places of Worship Act, it is arbitrary, it is irrational. The cutoff date of 15th August 1947 restricts the Hindus, Jains, Buddhists, Sikhs from approaching courts to reclaim their places of worship, which were invaded, which were encroached by many barbaric invaders. So the law was passed in 1991 by P.V. Narasimha Rao led Congress government. The law seeks to maintain religious character of places of worship as it was in 1947. Now, because the communal tension started up, right, the petitions have been passed that this act is very old and it should be repealed or it should be changed. So, Places of Worship Act, its aim is to freeze the status of any place of worship as it existed on August 15, to provide for maintenance of religious character of such a place of worship as on that day. Now, the petition which has been filed, it criticizes this legislation by saying that it is against secularism. Cutoff date of 15th August 1947 is irrational, right? And the pilgrimage and burial grounds are under state list. That is, center has no powers to legislate on it. जब जितनी भी pilgrimage sites है या burial grounds है वो state list में आते हैं, तो center कैसे उनको control कर सकती है, govern कर सकती है, right? This is the criticism of the petition that has been filed. So when we talk about secularism, देखो इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में इंडिविजुअल्स को या किसी को भी फ्रीडम है ताकि वो अपने रिलीजियस बिलीव्स को फॉलो कर सकता है, अपने प्रैक्टिसेस को इंटरप्रेट जैसे वो चाहे कर सकता है. सो इन कीपिंग विद दिस आइडिया ऑफ रिलीजियस फ्रीडम फॉर ऑल, इंडिया ऑल्सो हैज अडॉप्टेड अ स्ट्रैटेजी ऑफ सेपरेटिंग पावर ऑफ रिलीजन एंड पावर ऑफ द स्टेट. सो सेक्युलरिज्म मीन्स, इसका मतलब क्या होता है, सेपरेशन ऑफ रिलीजन फ्रॉम द स्टेट, दैट इज सेक्युलरिज्म. बट हियर इट इज अगेन सेक्युलरिज्म, दिस legislation as mentioned in the petition. That is why this act has been criticized now. So this was all for today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. If you really enjoyed this class, do not forget to like, share and subscribe the channel, and also download the PDF from our Telegram channel as well. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.